Hello, students. It is Green Bean here today with another great science and reading lesson all combined in one. And in today's lesson, we will be learning about propagation. Can you please say propagation? Okay. We're going to be doing an experiment also, so you're going to like this. Propagation is the process which grows new plants from a variety of sources, which could be seeds, cuttings, and other plant parts. Plant propagation can also refer to the man-made or natural dispersal of seeds. Okay, all that means is you have a big plant, right? And you just take a cutting off of that plant. And then you take that cutting and you preserve it like this in a cup or a glass. And you make sure it doesn't die so that you can put it in dirt and make a whole new plant out of a little piece of the original plant. That way you can multiply your plants. So that is really important. So you can have two of the same plants because the genetic makeup is identical. Okay, so I want you to just take a look at these pictures if you're a visual learner, and we're about to go through this whole process. All right, you're going to love this. Okay, I found a new and fun, exciting website called kidsgardening.org. I'm just going to start reading. Make new plants and keep the old. Overview. What could be more exciting than turning one plant into 30 new plants for each of your students to take home? Learning the plant propagation technique of taking cuttings allows you to do just that. It also provides an opportunity to teach students about plant growth, especially the factors affecting root development. Okay, this could be for grade level ranges K through 5th grade. In this objective, students will learn about vegetative propagation of plants, observe the growth of roots and cuttings, compare different rooting media for cuttings. And this lesson will take about 30 minutes, 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, the materials are here. I didn't have all of these materials, but you'll see what I had. I had something different. I had water, apple cider vinegar, and my original plant, and some dirt. So background information that we need to know is making plants from cuttings is a form of asexual propagation, also called vegetative propagation, one that doesn't rely on pollination and seeds. It produces clones, new plants that are genetically identical to the parent plant from which the cuttings were taken. Both plants and people can propagate through reproduction, but obviously this isn't true of asexual propagation. A severed human toe doesn't sprout a new person, nor does the person sprout a new toe. The most common types of propagation methods are cuttings and division. Okay, this is what we're going to focus on right here is the cuttings. Taking cuttings involves removing a piece of the leaf, stem, or root and placing it in a growing medium where it then develops the other parts that were left behind, which is a stem will then grow roots and a root will then grow a stem. Rate of success with cuttings generally are lower than seed germination rates. For the best chance of success, take cuttings with clean instruments. Place them in moist, sterile, soilless potting mix. Choose plants that root easily. Okay, so this is what I did. Cuttings of some plants root easily in vases of water, but others will rot before making roots. If you place them directly in water, pot those stem cuttings as well as any root and leaf cuttings in a moist, soilless potting mix. Listed in the table below are plants that grow from cuttings and should provide you with a good success rate even in tough classroom conditions. Okay, taking cuttings. Set up your rooting medium before taking cuttings. Use clean scissors and make sure that each cutting measures 4 to 6 inches long and has at least 4 leaves. Remove the bottom leaves from the cutting and immediately insert it in water or soil. Okay, last part. Caring for cuttings. Cuttings need high humidity and warm temperatures to help them grow. Nursery professionals have mist beds that spray cuttings intermittently throughout the day to keep high humidity. You can create a similar effect by creating a tent using a plastic bag. Prop the tent up with using pencils or craft sticks so that the leaves are not touching the sides. And then misting cuttings throughout the day with a spray bottle to keep the soil and the air around the cutting moist, but not soaking wet. You'll need to experiment to find the perfect balance for the humidity levels in your classrooms. Woohoo! Let's get to the experiment.
Apple cider vinegar. This is another proven natural rooting hormone stimulant. Add about 5 drops in half a cup of water and mix it well. Do not use more than this quantity because it can have the opposite effect and may prevent rooting. And also, vinegar is a natural weed killer in strong concentrations. Just dip the cutting insertion end into this cup and then insert into the soil. On number 6, cinnamon powder. Cinnamon is an antibacterial and
Okay, hello. It is Miss Watson here today, and I'm doing some science experiments with plants and trying to create some root starters so I can start cloning plants that I own. And one of the experiments that I did is I took some of the plants that I have, the leaves were rotten and died off. So I took them and crushed them, and I put them in this container, and I put a little eggshell in there. So this is just an experiment that I made up on my own. So I'm going to be seeing what this turns into, and if this could possibly be something that I put the cutoffs in. I did the same thing with another plant in my house, same exact scenario, but this is like a different leaf, but the leaves were getting rotten and dying off, so I took the leaves, crumbled them up, and then put them in here, and then put a little egg in there too. So these are just the 2 that I did already. So the next one I'm about to do is the one that I got off of YouTube. And in this one, you take apple cider vinegar, and you put 5 drops of it in with a half cup of water. So that's the next one. I'm going to be doing a lot of these. So here we go. 1/2 cup of water. And then I'm going to take the apple cider vinegar. I'm going to get my little dropper. And I'm going to place 1, 2. That one was a little too big. He said you got to make sure you do it exactly how. Okay, there we go with that solution right there. He said you could also mix them up too, but I'm not going to mix them up. I'm going to just do them all separately. So this is going to be 1. So I may end up putting the cutting in here. Well, I'm going to end up putting the cutting in each of them because that's the part of the experiment. Okay, so these are my three different experiments that I will be placing cuttings in. And this one I just dip them in. So I really wanted to do something with some grass. So I might as well just throw some grass in these 2 to give it some extra nutrients. So I'm putting the grass in there because it is green. So it probably has more nutrients than the brown leaves. So that's the thinking behind that. All right. And I'm not going to put anything in the apple cider vinegar. I'm going to leave this. Hey guys, this is the plant that I'm going to get a clipping from. And I'm going to try to reproduce this plant with a clipping. So as you can see, it has some really long stems that I can really grab one. I can get a good one. So I'm about to pull one off. Let me see what's the good one. I want to get a nice one. This one looks like it'll be good. Okay. So they said something about Yeah, I might have to get it from like right there. Or right here, if I could clip it from right here. Alright, you guys, I'm about to pull it. There we go, I got it. Okay, I'm about to put it in my solution that I made. Okay, I'm back with some dirt. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it in there. I'm going to dip it in one more time because I had it waiting for a second. And you're supposed to do it immediately after. So, here we go. I want you to look into that. Look at what I did. Just placed it right inside there. Probably going to put a little more dirt on top. Okay. And then I'm just going to set this by the window too. Just like that. Okay.